So you guys might remember that my house came with a dead person's ashes. You know, they left their old lady here. And that's horrible to me. I feel like, first of all, after you die, inevitably when you die, the people that actually give a shit about you are gonna quickly stop giving a shit about you. You are going to be forgotten and gone. Not most people, overwhelming majority of people, 10 years, maybe. You know, 10 years, I think most people would they might think about you once a year and go like, oh yeah, I forgot about that person. So when people say they want to be cremated and they want to be like in possession, their family's possessions, all you're doing is you're just setting yourself up to be like tucked away in the back of a closet. You're not that fucking cool. I don't care who you are. Nobody wants to have a box of your fucking ashes. So I'm covering up the little nameplate on the back to protect this lady's identity, but she got cremated, and the people that lived here before me left her in the back of a closet. I'm sure you guys remember the video where I found her. And we contacted them and said, hey, you left this fucking old lady's ashes. And they said, you know what? She was a bitch, and you can fucking keep her. And I thought to myself, that's pretty funny. I said, you know what? This lady got cremated thinking, oh, fuck, they're going to cherish me for all time. Nope, you got shoved in the back of a closet, and then they forgot you when they moved. But you know what? I thought to myself, you know, I'll hold on to this lady. It feels bad. You can't just like throw a body away. That's fucked up, right? Some people were mad because I was like parading this lady around. I'm like, this is the most action this lady's gotten since her death. They hated her, you know? So I'm like, fuck, like she deserves more than to sit in a little a fucking plastic box. So I put some googly eyes on her so she could see the world. And I was thinking, you know what, we got to dress her up more than that. You got to give her more than just googly eyes. So anyways, this lady's name is Margaret. And I put her on my bookshelf so she could, you know, she could see because she was stuck with her old family members before. They're old crotchety people. The people that lived here before me were in their 70s, 80s, of wealth, very wealthy people, very uppity people. The lady that I bought the house from had a transatlantic accent. And I said, holy shit, like you and like Audrey Hepburn are like the last people to have a fucking transatlantic accent. And I knew that this, you know, you don't get fucking proper respect from someone with an accent like that. That's just, lady before me was off doing fucking art galas, soirees, socialite shit, stuffing this lady in the back of a closet. And since I've had her, since you've come under new management, Margaret, where you been? Huh? You've been hanging out on my bookshelf, looking at me play video games, looking at my antics, sitting in on every live podcast episode. I bet you've had a blast. And that's what it's all about. Which is why I just gave you some feet. Look at those little piggies sticking out of there. Isn't that nice? You're under new management now, Margaret. There's really no back and forth. I talk to Margaret, I perform in front of Margaret. Margaret sees my antics, she sees the planning process, she sees the writing process, the acting process, the editing process of everything, every video, every podcast, every little thing, and there's no give or take. There's no like, she just sees what I do and she gives me nothing. Look at her, she's in a black box. It's like a sphinx. I can't read the expressions here. I have no idea what's going on. If you're not going to help me, I'm going to help you help me. And so I'm just adding some upgrades to this lady, you know? I'm sure that if she could communicate, she would say, please, give me wacky arms. I want to be able to raise the roof. Give me beautiful toenails. I want to be able to strut my stuff. Give me googly eyes so I can gaze down at you. Say, Sam, you're doing a good job. Thank you for finally taking me out of the closet. My family didn't give a shit about me. This lady could have been like a racist or something. I have no idea. But, you know, I give everybody a second chance. But I think, you know, even if Margaret was so bad of a person that she was basically abandoned by her surviving family, that does not mean she's not capable of change. In fact, I know she's capable of change. She went from a person that was, I'm assuming, human-sized, all the way down to being able to fit in a box. That's an incredible amount of change that not everybody goes through. And if you can change that much, then I feel like maybe you can redeem yourself by wearing funny little hats in my basement. By the way, one of the funniest things that my family's ever had me do, because I'm the techie guy, right? My family all of a sudden decided that they didn't want to be buried. They had bought like a burial plot, and it was like non-refundable. Like they bought the burial plot in the 80s for the whole family. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of my grandfather's life, he was like, I don't want to be fucking buried there. That place sucks. And so he got cremated instead. And then they ended up burying him anyways for some reason. So he got cremated, and they were telling me like, hey, Sam, you need to sell this burial plot because the place that we bought it from won't take it back. So, but it is transferable. You can sell the deed or whatever, the rights to somebody else. And they were like, you're the internet guy. Get on there and sell this burial plot for a whole family. And they were mad at me. You could tell they were like, come on, dude. Like, why haven't you sold this thing yet? I'm like, who the fuck goes onto Craigslist and just looks up family burial plots and is ready to drop $15,000, $20,000 on this shit? Like, it's not something that is like, you could have that shit listed for years and not even get a call back. Like, that is a 1 in a million that someone would even fucking want that. I think, honestly, when it comes down to it, I think there's two possibilities for immortality in this world. Three possibilities. One, you conquer an incredible amount of people and you do some fucked up shit and you spread your seed across the known world, Genghis Khan style, you know, Hannibal style. You do some incredible military feat. That's a surefire way to immortality. Two, you get Mount Vesuvius to erupt and cover you in ash. And then there's a plaster mold of you fucking cranking off in your estate as lava and volcanic ash and gas, rain down on you and your family. And so you're forever memorialized as the guy jacking off in his house. And then three is you get put into a box, and this guy that never knew you says, hey, you know what? You don't deserve to be abandoned by your family. I'm going to make you into a pretty lady. You deserve to be pretty again. And he buys you little hats and dresses you up and lets you sit in on his podcasts and his videos and his comings and goings. And he sets you right next to a little Pee Wee Herman doll. Now, is it better than the other ways of immortality? No. But considering how often volcanoes erupt and bury entire cities, and how hard it is to conquer the known world today with all technology, modern armies, diplomacy, I'm sure NATO would put a crimp in your ability to do world domination. I think the easiest bet for being remembered for any extended period of time outside of your life would be to get decorated. Have your remains decorated and being used as like a prop in a video. That's probably the most surefire way. And the most easily attainable. Now, some people might say, do good things. You know, if you treat other people nicely, if you do, shit for your community or whatever, you know what's going to happen? It's going to happen. Go to a park. Go to any park in your town. And people that do that shit, if they pick that avenue to be memorialized, immortalized or whatever, you're going to get a bench in a park named after you. Or you'll get a tree with a little plaque, and it'll say, this tree was in memory of John Hopkins. Nobody gives a fuck about that. All right? But you pass by a box on a shelf, and it's got a little cowboy hat and some painted toes. You're going to be saying, who is this person? Who were they? Let's think about them for a minute. Nobody thinks about the bench guy. The dude that donated a fucking bench. Fuck you.